Hey everybody, how you doing? We're here to do another little video today. We're gonna be walking, that's right, we're gonna be walking through SoHo. We're gonna be walking on Spring Street. Yeah, pretty cool, all through this neighborhood. A lot of stuff to cover here. It's gonna be great. Before we start, Phil, how are you?
I'm doing great.
I believe you, because it's a nice day today. Yeah, we're gonna walk. Before we start, guys, check out the Patreon. That's a huge help, so I fund these things. Also some extras on there, extra walks and things too. Like and subscribe. That's a big help too. Other than that, I don't know, man. What do you think, Phil? Should we start?
I guess so.
Yeah, I guess so too. We don't have the crosswalk ready to go, but I will talk about one thing before we go. We're on Spring Street. I'll talk about that in a second. But this building behind me is pretty cool. You got a good view of it here. So before we cross, I'll just go ahead and talk about this. This here, this building was actually, it's on Bowery. The address is on Bowery. It's the Supreme store now. But this building was actually bought in 1966 by a photographer named Jay Mizell for like $102,000. He sold it in 2015 for $55 million. Jeez. That's pretty nuts, man. So it kind of goes to show. In fact, you can like see pictures inside. Like when they sold it, they gave a grand tour and everything. He only lived on one floor with his family, and like the other floor, one floor was for all his camera stuff. He rented out spaces there to like Roy Lichtenstein, the famous artist, some other people. So it's kind of cool that they did all that stuff. But let's cross.
What you doing?
Huh?
You doing a podcast?
Nah, just doing like a little video in the neighborhood.
The neighborhood?
Yeah.
What about the neighborhood?
What's that?
What's so outstanding about the neighborhood?
Well, I'm talking about Spring Street today.
Spring Street?
Yep, SoHo.
SoHo, yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's good.
Over here, you know about the Bowery Mission?
Oh, okay, nice, man.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, this had a bad reputation.
That's right. The Bowery was Skid Row.
Yes, rhinos, homeless people, and dope fiends. And a lot of people died out here.
That's right.
I want to walk out here and see how beautiful it is, especially these cast iron buildings.
Oh, talk about that. I'm going to talk about it. Well, have a good day, man.
You too.
Take it easy. You can see all the people here in line as well.
Yeah, lots of people for Supreme, man.
Yeah. I should have gotten him to sign a release.
He had a lot to say.
He did have a lot to say. You know, it's funny. We have this tiny little camera now, but, you know, people still realize that I'm doing something. It was much worse when we had the big one, though.
Yeah, it was.
Anyways, we're walking on Spring Street here. It's called Spring Street because it had a spring on it. Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that, Phil? You're a liar.
Yeah.
It had a spring on it, and in like, you know, the early 1800s, late 1700s. We'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, this is all SoHo. And you can see here Elizabeth Street. We're walking on Elizabeth Street. Let's cross here, man. Elizabeth Street's the street I lived on. Yeah. 194 Spring Street. I'm sorry, Elizabeth Street. Actually, it was 7 roommates. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. No, it was a lawyer.
Oh, you're a full-fledged lawyer.
I was, but that's where I landed. I feel like everyone who moves to New York has like the story of the first place they arrived to.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't know anybody. I knew people who lived there, and they're like, yeah, just come live here. So I paid $1,100 for a bedroom in a 8-bedroom place, and for $1,100 for with no windows.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it was really a harrowing experience. But
Give that up.
how could I? I don't. Pretty easily, actually. But I was only there for 2 months
They're driving the field.
because it was illegal. They had converted a commercial space, and it wasn't zoned for residential, and they got caught. And we got kicked out, so I moved to Sty Town. Stuyvesant Town. That's a little shorthand lingo. So this is right here, Lombardi's, everybody. The first pizzeria in New York. Oh, I'm sorry, the oldest pizzeria, better said. 1892. They make pies and stuff. Gennaro Lombardi, who also trained the chef over at the John's of Bleecker, the John's Pizzeria, which is a famous one. But yeah, it's like
to Vince Lombardi.
no, Phil. You son of a gun.
Yeah, that's a star.
A lot of people, man. This is another video on Memorial Day. We shot a couple. It's a beautiful day out. We're walking Spring Street. So I was telling you Spring, it's called Spring because of the spring that was located on Spring Street that was tapped by the Manhattan Water Company owned by Aaron Burr. and he tapped it with this company, even though the company was actually started basically to compete as a bank with the Bank of New York.
That is. Gotta be better option.
Because the Bank of New York was owned by Alexander Hamilton. I've told this story in other videos. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but check it out. This is Spring Lounge here to the left. You see it? So Spring Lounge. The Spring Lounge, Phil, has been there since Prohibition days. It wasn't called Spring Lounge, but the bar has been there. And I don't know, actually. It's a good question. TGI Fridays? TGI Thursdays? I don't know. But more interesting is that because it was around since Prohibition, it was actually what they called blind tiger. It was a blind tiger where you could get alcohol. So a speakeasy is obviously where you go to party and drink and whatever. But you could also go to these places called blind tigers where you could do that in some of them, but you could also leave with alcohol and like fill up a bucket of like, you know, just alcohol and get wasted on your own time. That's sick. So that was a blind tiger. And I know I used the joke in another video, but you know, blind tigers. What happened to the Def Leopards? Huh, Phil?
They're all extinct.
They're all extinct. Yeah. So yeah, check it out. Look up. It's Lafayette. Holy Lord. This building's pretty cool. Check it out. The Dwayne Reed. No, you will not.
It is cool.
Thank you. But this building here was actually designed by Cass Gilbert. He's the guy who designed the Woolworth building. And you can see that dome down there. That dome is actually the old, it's the old NYPD headquarters. Today it's, what, Phil? What's that building? The old NYPD building.
Condos?
It is condos, baby. You catch on,
So
man.
proud of you.
You catch on. It was home to like Calvin Klein, Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista. Yeah. Also, that little square there, you see it? That little square is called Petrosino Square, named after a man named Joseph Petrosino, who was a NYPD officer. He was hired for knowing Italian and stuff in the early 1900s, late 1800s, because there was, a lot of Italians back then. He was the first Italian-American police officer on the NYPD.
Really?
Yeah, and he ended up dying in Italy because he went there to basically, investigate the mob. And they killed him because the word got out that he was coming. That's what happens when you open your mouth.
Yeah.
There's the famous Balthazar. You know about Balthazar, right, Phil?
Yes.
It's okay. It's fancy. This is like the spot where, like, during Fashion Week, all the paparazzo. Paparazzo is the singular of paparazzi.
Really?
Where, like, the paparazzi will hang out. Because all the celebrities that go there. You see anybody? Yeah, I see people too. Yeah, a bunch of people. But yeah, it's all like the celebrities hang out there. It's like it's a big celebrity spot. You'll see all the photographers outside waiting for people to come out during the Fashion Week and stuff.
Balthazar also sells their baked goods to other restaurants too.
Oh, look at that.
Just worked at the Standard Hotel.
You did?
Yes.
The one on the Highline?
Yes.
You worked at the hotel on the Highline, the Standard? Wow.
I've been to Leavon.
When did you work there?
For years.
Wow.
About 2016 to 2019.
Wow, okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is Broadway. This is Broadway, everybody. Look at that. And then down there, you got the other direction. There's the Woolworth building. See it at the end there, the little green top? This is Broadway. We're crossing Broadway here in SoHo. All the cast iron, very fancy cast iron. All the shopping area here. But the Standard, you knew this then, about the Standard Hotel, is that was like a big exhibitionist hotel.
Yes, it was.
Did you guys ever have any issues because of that? Because of the big windows?
What you think issues?
People get like arrested or any problems?
Nobody got arrested, but people definitely come by
To complain?
check things out.
Oh, that's so funny. That place,
Or do some of those things as well too.
it was a, so those of you guys who don't know, the Standard Hotel straddles the,
Perfect choice of words.
yeah, very purposeful. It straddles the High Line. Watch out. And then there are huge floor-to-ceiling windows. So a lot of like exhibitionists will come to kind of show their stuff. And to the point where like the front desk would give people the keys and say, have fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like they knew what people were coming for. Like you'd be on the High Line and there's like some dude like drinking his coffee butt naked looking out the window. Phil was one of those guys. But yeah.
Even at Leavon, you know, they have a jacuzzi in the dance floor.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. So
That's got to be a
late at
disgusting.
night, things would transpire.
What's Leavon? Is that the nightclub?
Yep, the nightclub.
Oh, okay.
Big building.
I didn't know she lives.
They allow some people to.
So check it out. Look down the street. Got some pretty buildings and stuff. The pretty cast iron buildings here in SoHo. All right, let's cross.
We passed Green Street.
Not yet. We're about to. But that's what this neighborhood's famous for. It's famous for the over 220 cast iron buildings in the vicinity here. It's the highest concentration of cast iron buildings in the world. So what happened was, in the mid-1800s, they were remaking this kind of suburban kind of neighborhood into an industrial neighborhood, and cast iron was very popular for a couple reasons. It became very popular. Like, there you go. Got the names of the cast iron. There's another one. It was very popular with industry because, here, let's cross here. It was very popular with industry because the cast iron was stronger than the brick and mortar they had before, and it allowed for bigger windows. When there was no electricity, you need bigger windows, you need more light, you freaks. So it allowed for bigger windows. It also was stronger and cheaper. You ordered these pieces out of a catalog. Out of the catalogs of those names, you just saw those kind of names. So this is Green Street. You'll see some really pretty examples of that here. There's some. Here, look at that. Come on. See it? The cobblestone. Check it out. Pretty cool. Riding a bike on these is not fun. And look down the street, you can see it too. Very nice.
Biking here, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, let's cross.
Usually some of the cobblestone streets they have.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, every once in a while. You'll see that.
I never heard of that. Don't trip. Oh, I want to show you this. Let's cross here. Come on. All right, this is a cool story, Phil. So I was talking about spring. Look at this building here. This is a COS or whatever. It's owned by H&M. They own that brand. But H&M, I told you about this. H&M, Henness and Moritz. That's what it stands for. Little fact. They also patented the technology where your clothes disintegrate after 2 weeks.
Yes.
Another thing. But more importantly, inside there, in the basement floor, is a well that actually dates back to the early 1800s, where in 1799, in the early 1800, they found the body of Julie Elma Sands. Julie Elma Sands was murdered, and her body was tossed into this well, which you can go still see today. And anyways, we'll walk.
I believe we actually.
We did. We covered. We did do a video. Nice plug there, Phil. Yes. And so what happened was, they blamed her boyfriend, who was supposed to get married to her. They believe he didn't want to get married, and he killed her. But which is pretty drastic. You know, he could have just not asked her to marry him. But so what happened was he recruits this dream team of lawyers, including Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton. Pretty cool, huh? And he gets off.
Really?
Yeah, he got off. Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton teamed up to defend this guy. It's like the original O.J. Simpson case.
Yeah.
We'll cross here. This is a cool little house too. Check it out. That's the oldest house in SoHo right there. Come on. It is. This is what it looked like. So I was telling you, it used to be like a suburban area. This is what you would have seen, more of this, rather than like the big buildings and stuff. Look. 143, 1818. Federal house, baby. Look at that. Federal. So check this out, Phil. You see this? Look at me. You see this? Look at the bricks. You see this? This is what's called a different. So this is what they call. You can see the different size bricks. They'll call this Flemish bondwork. That's a telltale sign of federal buildings, including also another telltale sign is the dormers on the roof, which are just windows that pop out of the top of the roof. So those are federal style. So yeah, now we're going to West Broadway, which they added on as an afterthought, as a north-south artery, because they needed it, and Broadway wasn't enough. So this was added later on, and it's west of Broadway, so they called it West Broadway. Brown street signs too. See that? See that, Phil? Spring Street, there's West Broadway. I do say. Meaning what?
That it's a historical landmark.
That's right, it's a landmark district. The brown street sign means it's a district. That's a landmark, meaning that if you have a building or something here, it's like a huge pain in the ass to do anything to your building or anything, because you got to go through a lot of red tape. At least we're now out of like the main crazy area. Look at this line, crazy. Let's cross, man. Everyone's waiting to go in there.
I wonder what the place is.
It's called Solomon. I don't know what the hell that is. I guess like they make like skis and stuff and like hiking stuff. I don't know. So this building here used to be, or the site of it, was where Henry Hyde started making candy in New York City in the early second half of the 1800s. And we're going to talk about him later because we're going to pass by another of his buildings here in a little bit. Henry Hyde, you know Juji Fruits, Phil? Yeah.
That was him?
That was him. He made Juji Fruits here. And I'm sure you do. Got to send him your dental bills. But also the interesting thing about he also took over a bigger building as the company got, I don't want to go into this, as the company got more successful. But yeah, Juji Fruits, man, which means that like, same, Jujubes too. But that means that like, you know, there's probably Juji Fruits that were made back then that someone's still chewing on. They've been handed down generation to generation. The Juji Fruit's been spit from like the grandfather to the grand.
This thing's could last.
Yeah. So we're about to walk by Dominic Hotel, which is like the big bakery here, where they invented Cronuts. This guy made a killing. I think it was in 2011 this opened. Big deal, man. They used to have lines like around the block. It's right here. But they've run out almost immediately in the mornings. Still packed though.
Even now?
Oh yeah, I think so, yeah. I still see lines there. Cronuts aren't that good. I hate to say it. Have you ever had one, Phil?
Oh, then how do they?
They're really, really rich.
Okay.
They're really, really sweet. The only reason I even had one was because I did a tour once down here for a big group of people, and they had gone there, and the people couldn't finish their Cronuts.
Really? It was that bad?
Yeah, well, they were just like, oh, you want the rest of this? I was like, yeah, sure, I guess so. I've never had one, so I was like, all right. And it was really, really sweet. You're not.
I mean, I like chocolate, and I like fruit flavored candies and stuff, but I don't really like cakes and cupcakes and
Yeah, it's a lot.
all that stuff.
Puts you down, man. You fall asleep. It's warm today. Yeah, cookies are good. That's probably the extent of it. Also, ice cream is a lot.
Oh yeah.
Ice cream is like you got to cancel all your appointments and cancel, clean lactose. Most people are, I feel like, especially as you get older. So check it out. Look up there. You can see 6th Avenue up there, and then down there is also 6th Avenue heading downtown.
Let me see if it makes sense for us to
This is also known as Avenue of the Americas. They call it Avenue of the Americas. Well, they don't actually, but it was named that by Fiorello LaGuardia in the 1940s. They were going to have a Pan-American conference here, and he wanted to ingratiate himself into the countries and stuff that were going to come here. And so they named it Avenue of the Americas, but it never really stuck. And if you ever go up to anyone here now, little tip, and ask where Avenue of the Americas is, they're going to know you're a tourist, and they're going to rob you. So don't do it.
Hey, where's Avenue of the Americas?
It's right back there.
So you're gonna rob it?
I am. When we finish, I don't want to get it caught on camera. And here to the left is the this hotel. See it? Oh, it's really bright. But that building is the Dominic Hotel. Used to be the Trump SoHo. Ever heard of that guy?
I heard he's been doing some things.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's really done anything since The Apprentice. Everyone's kind of waiting for him to make another public appearance. But yeah, I used to use that bathroom all the time before tours. So now we're starting to walk over into what's considered Hudson Square, this area. That's always kind of what it's been known as, but the name was never really that popular. They're kind of trying to start to build it up a little bit. So like Google has offices here, Disney does, that you can see downtown. You can see the Woolworth building there. But yeah, it's Hudson Square. It's starting to become a fancy little area. But it's over, we're like west of kind of SoHo. When we crossed 6th Ave, we actually walked by Spring Street Park there. That was where the tour started, Phil. That's where I would wait for everybody. Isn't that nuts?
It's always a little bit deserted around here.
Yeah.
Before they started developing it,
Yes.
was there a group of people who lived there that they pushed out?
Oh no, there was always people who lived here. It just wasn't like, touted as like a place. Like there's hotels here now. Like
Gotcha.
there's a hotel here where they do, like Fashion Week stuff. We're not very far from the Holland Tunnel, the entrance to the Holland Tunnel.
Yeah,
You ever been there?
I have.
I'm sure you have. Going to Jersey. That was finished in 1927. Named after Clifford Holland, one of the main designers who actually died building it. He had like a nervous breakdown and ended up dying a couple years later. No, that was the bridge. That was the Brooklyn Bridge. You paid attention. You just didn't get it right. There's the museum, the Firehouse Museum, former Engine 30. It's now a fire FDNY museum. Although I don't know if it's still open as a museum. Might have closed. Yeah, it looks a little run down. But it was a museum for a while at least. So
I believe the Ghostbusters.
we'll cross here and show you. No, that's further south. I want to show you this building here. So this building here was the one I was talking about before. This was the building of Henry Hyde. This is where Henry Hyde moved in the 1890s. Google now has like hundreds of thousands of square feet of office space here now. And they moved here. Oh, look at that. Hey.
So cool. It's great to see
Yeah, how you doing?
Well,
Nice to
good
meet you.
see
Yeah, hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Good job. Are you doing any comedy this week?
I am. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 7:30 in the Lower East Side. Check it out. Come by. At a place called Lucky Jack's. Yeah.
Have a good day. Look at that. You're a goddamn celebrity.
Look at that. We got it on camera too. Nice guy. Hopefully he comes to the show. I didn't plant him there, Phil.
And I tried to keep his face out.
Nice. That was good. Yeah, I don't know. We got the first guy was on camera, right? Was he? The first guy?
No, he
Oh,
wasn't.
good.
He wasn't.
Yeah, anyways, we're walking in, this is a cool building we're coming up to here in a second. I'll talk about this. We're walking Spring Street all the way to the water, which, by the way, keep in mind, like back in the day, this was the water kind of encroached. It's been expanded over time. But I wanted to show you this building here. It's a pretty cool little spot here. There you go, Lazy Point. This building is, I think, the oldest building in this area.
Really?
Yeah, look at it. This building was, it's a bar now, a little Lazy Point.
Is there any LGBT history?
In that building?
We're kind of in the area.
No, we're a little further south. But that building dates back to like the early 1800s. It's still federal style. You know, it's the federal style too. Yeah, this guy who built it was actually he was a ship captain,
Oh, wow.
and he specialized in packet ships that went up the coast from Savannah to New York with cotton.
Oh, okay.
Made a lot of money off the slave trade. There you go. He wasn't a slave trader himself, but he made money off of slave-picked cotton. People.
For the cop out.
Yeah. But I will say this.
He's a great guy.
No, I didn't say that. But he made his money off of, and this place is cool, the Ear Inn. This is 1817. You'll be able to see what I was talking about too here in a second. But yeah, anyways, he made his money off of that, which is kind of sad. Here, look, check it out. See that? See the sign?
I mean,
So the Ear Inn, it's called the Ear Inn because it said bar,
yeah.
right? And there was something with like the city requiring extra licenses for bars if you operated a bar at the time. This is way back in the day. So rather than call it the bar anymore, they changed the name to Ear, and they just painted over the B to make it look like Ear Inn. So they didn't have to pay the extra thing.
Nice.
That's
They can
cross.
still serve alcohol.
Yeah. It's not that. I mean, it's not that. That was a long time ago.
It's just a store.
It's a popular place. But it's a funny story, and they say it's haunted.
Really?
They say it could, I believe it was I'm not 100% sure. I'll edit this out or something if it's wrong. But I believe it was a Confederate soldier who died in like the upstairs. Yeah. So now we're getting to.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. Good riddance. At least, yeah.
Convicted.
Yeah, right. So now we're getting to the Westside Highway. But you don't need to really, I don't think we need to cross this. I mean, I guess we could. It's just such a pain in the ass to cross this thing. You hear that? Honking?
A real New York symphony.
You hear that, guys? That's how you communicate in New York.
Beautiful.
You just lay on the freaking horn. I don't know if I told this story, but there was once I was doing a tour for a small family from like England, and someone was laying on the horn like that, and the patriarch of the family was like mortified. And I was like, "Are you all right?" It's just that happens all the time. He's like, "You don't understand. If you honked like that in my town, that other person would be obligated to get out of the car and fight you." So he thought it was just going to be like this huge thing, and I was like, "No, dude, that happens all the time. That's just their way of saying hello."
Welcome to New York.
Welcome to New York. But yeah, this is the Westside Highway. We made it all the way through Spring Street. We started there in SoHo, the beginning of SoHo there at the Bowery. To the east of that would have been the Lower East Side, and then we took it all the way through Hudson Square, and now here we are. Look at that. We made it all the Westside Highway.
Amazing.
Look at that. Look at those military helicopters. Look at that thing. It's kind of crazy.
Helicopters.
But anyways.
Oh, 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. That didn't look
Like,
good.
Something's happening.
Yeah, I think it's because we're shooting without a permit again.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think they're really after us.
Troublemakers out here.
All right, anyways, I'm rambling here. We're going to wrap it up. Guys, if you enjoyed it, like, subscribe. Guys, if you enjoyed it, check out the Patreon, baby. That's how I fund these things. There's extra videos on there. New day, baby. That's how we do stuff. And also, very least, you know, share with a friend or something. Like, grow this the IRL, old-fashioned way. And, yeah, other than that, Phil, did you learn something?
I learned a lot of stuff.
You did. Are you lying to me?
No.
Are you lying to me? Phil?
I'm being authentic with you.
Being authentic. All right.
Cool stuff.
All right. All right.
You heard of the ear in?
I have heard of the ear in. All right. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Let's go enjoy the day. All right. Goodbye. That's it.